Howdy YouTube, this is Steven, and I'm back with another photo analysis. This time I'll be analyzing the cover of Utada Hikaru's single Sakura Drops slash Letters. Alright, so when I first look at this single cover, I noticed that, it's really colorful. And I noticed that Utada Hikaru is right in the middle of, a very colorful floral display. And I like the coloration of the photo. You have like your red, your orange, like fuchsia, green, white, the black from Utada's hair, and Utada's skin tone as well. So there's a lot of coloration in this photo that, connects and blends very well with each other. You know, Utada, for me in this photo, she's lacking, but unfortunately that's not anything new. Utada tends to have the same facial expression in a lot of her photos, or at least, her single covers and album covers. She tends to have the same facial expression. But to be fair, Utada is not a model. She's a singer, you know. But still, whoever's the artistic director or the photographer, like they need to be bringing out some different sides of Utada here, So I don't place the blame on Utada herself, but rather her people. Like, what were they thinking? All right. I don't like how her hair is kind of covering her. I would have liked to see a bit more face in this photo. As well, I would have liked to see more facial expression from Utada in this photo. Again, like we've seen this face dozens upon dozens of times already from Utada. So, I'm not really feeling it. Her eyes, her eyes look pretty respectable, decent. It looks like she has some life behind her eyes. Her eyes aren't dead. So I'll give her that. But her mouth, she could have had a bit more of a smile or some type of an expression here. Like when you look at this expression, what message do you receive from it? Like, what do you think that Utada is trying to tell us? What do you think that Utada is thinking? It's almost blank. I'm not sure if I can really interpret what she's saying. It's almost as if it's just blank, As well, what's with the outfit that she's wearing? Granted, you can't really see much of the outfit, but you can, the whole neck thing, what's up with that? Considering that Utada isn't really the model type, I think that having her wear that neck thing, it takes away the quality from the photo, in my opinion. And it's just one more problem in the photo. Because it's covering up a lot of her neck, and Utada doesn't really strike me as the type that really knows how to work her neck. Because, again, she's not a model. She's a singer, So I don't really expect her to be doing the whole model thing. But then again, the people who directed this photo shoot should have been coaching her with this and guiding her through this. But unfortunately, they did not, But yeah, it's covering up a lot of, it's covering up her neck, basically. And I really don't think that it adds anything good to the photo. If you took it away and just showed her neck, I think that would have been better. Sometimes less is more. And I think in a situation like this, less is more. And I think that her hair, it looks nice. It's okay, but I think I think it probably should have just been more face than hair. Because her hair is covering up too much, in my personal opinion. Let's see. And also, the title of this single is called Sakura Drops slash letters. So I'm assuming we're not really dealing with the letters theme of this photo, which is fine. So we're dealing with more so Sakura drops. And Sakura means cherry blossom trees, or cherry blossoms in Japanese. So I don't really see cherry blossoms, but I do see, some type of foliage. So I can kind of let that slide. But, it would have been cool to see some cherry blossoms represented. But then again, that might be a bit typical for Japan. They probably see cherry blossoms like every single day, so it ain't really a big thing. So maybe that's why they decided to show this type of foliage instead of using the cherry blossoms. But overall, I think that Utada is being overpowered in this photo. She's being overpowered by that thing around her neck. She's being overpowered or overshadowed by her hair. She's being even somewhat outdone by the foliage in the background, the colorful foliage in the background. And by the way, is this supposed to represent like autumn, perhaps? Because, the foliage in the background is kind of like a red and a yellowish and a orange color. But also there's a touch of green in there too. And I don't know where the lavender came from, or the fuchsia. But yeah, it's like Utada's being overshadowed and outdone by everything else in this photo. Like, she's not really coming through in this photo for me as strongly as she should, because at the end of the day, this is about Utada Hikaru, not, weird thing around her neck, not foliage in the background, not Utada's hairstylist or lack of hairstylists. It's supposed to be about Utada Hikaru. And I think that in that respect, Utada and her team failed. They missed the target there. But overall, taken as a whole, this photo is respectable. It's not the worst photo I've seen. And it does have a artistic quality to it, in my opinion. But for me, like I said before, what brings it down is just ultimately, I would like to have seen Utada space more. I would have liked to see more facial expression from Utada. I would have liked to seen her neck in this photo. And as well, Utada does these beauty shots a lot. Like facial shots a lot. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it'd be good to kind of switch it up a bit more. And I think she kind of does that to just make the photo simpler and straight to the point, because when you do a facial shot, a beauty shot, it's just about the face. You don't have to worry about the lower half of, the lower part of your body. And I'll let it slide here, but in the future, I would kind of like to see a bit more variation with that. But overall, it's a respectable photo. It's not the worst photo I've seen. It's just that, there's room for improvement, So there you have it. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. Until the next photo analysis, adios and goodbye for now.